Hi everyone, my name's Colin and I'm going to be quickly running you through a little demonstration app that I built to manage truck bookings. This was just built for a client as a proof of concept. Hasn't taken a lot of time, but just wanted to run through the various selections of products that have been used in the building of this one. Basically the data is stored in SharePoint Online. And the app has been built on Microsoft Power Apps. The workflow in the background has been done in Power Automate, which is another Microsoft product, and we're also making use of Microsoft Office Planner. So you'll see that each of these products get used in this video, and we'll talk about that as we go. So what I've got here is a very basic website. Very basic SharePoint site. It may not be the prettiest site in the world, but what this is basically the back end to the application. So we're storing all of the data, all of the information in lists in SharePoint. We can come back to this a bit later on, but you can see here we have a list of all the questions that we're going to ask the users when they perform this initial checklist. We have a list of the vehicles that we use in this organisation, and there's also the task, the planner board. So what I'll do is I'll open up the app. So that's SharePoint. This isn't really intended to be the place where end users would be going. Most end users will be in their truck or out in the field on a mobile phone, and they'll be seeing this rendition of it on their phone. So what I've done up here is we can see that the various trucks are listed. This was that list, the vehicles list, they're all coming from there. So what I can do if I'm in a truck, I can say, okay, this is the truck I'm driving. I can click on it. That one's been selected. Now what I'm going to do is a pre-start checklist. That's one of the things we want to do with this particular app. So the driver will then, before they start the truck, run through this list of questions. They can either say that things are okay or not okay. So let's just say, and it's only when everything's been marked as okay or that it'll allow them to submit this checklist. If there's a problem, so let's say that there's a panel damage, driver's door is damaged. Okay, it's now, it will not allow me to submit it until I've put a comment in here as well. There's a final check down here, is the vehicle drivable? So I can say yes, and I can carry on my merry way, and that will be fine. Another alternative here is if I select this answer to be no, and then submit that form, basically it means that I won't be driving in the truck that day. And what that's going to do is send an email to a designated user to say this truck has been deemed as undrivable. Okay, so that email's now come in, and I'll bring that over. You can see here a vehicle XYZ789 has been assessed as undrivable, and now it's saying this particular vehicle has been assessed as undrivable by this person. What I can then do is actually go and have a look at that assessment. So what I need to do though is, because I've set up a different default browser, here's the results of it. Obviously this could all be managed inside the app as well, but for the time being, I'm just taking the user back to the SharePoint site here to see, yeah, these are the questions that were asked. This one here had a problem, and it says the driver's door is damaged, so we need to do something about that. So that's one of the items that we cover in this app. It's a pre-start checklist, and as I said before, the questions are all maintained in the front end, so we don't need to redevelop the app if we want to add more questions in of things to check for our for the checklist. any kind of administrator can come in here and just add questions and remove questions as required. And that'll immediately show up on the form when the user's filling it out. Similar thing with the vehicles. The vehicles are available, they're all listed down here. If we wanted to add a new vehicle to these, that's literally just a matter of adding it in that list and it'll start showing up in the app. All right, there's a feature here called Book a Truck. I haven't actually finished that feature, but what I have done is booking a service. So let's say the driver or someone in the field says, yeah, this truck is due for a service, let's book that in. So we click on that. Actually, what I didn't do then was click on the which of these trucks am I going to book a service for. So I can either go through this way and say, yeah, let's do it for this international. Click book a service on that and that'll pre-populate the international. If I hadn't have done that, I can always select it from this drop-down list here. Okay, so this is the truck that needs to be serviced. I'm going to put a date in. Let's get that done on Monday. The urgency is urgent. Very important. Okay, once I've done that, I can click on this one here to say make the service booking. And what that's going to do is going to create an item in our maintenance list. So you can see here that a planner ID is now being created. So when I go to the vehicle maintenance area, this item here has been created. This is in a Microsoft Planner. The item's been created. I can click on this and I can see there's some notes in here to say the International Paystar has been requested for maintenance. The following comments accompany this request, and you remember I just put that comment in a few moments ago. The due date that I put in has come across. The urgency has rated that as an urgent. Obviously, there's any amount of configuration we can do here to increase the importance of these things, but let's just leave it at that for now. Now this is where potentially, say, the service department might be doing their work from in this planner schedule. When it's done, they can either update it through here to say, well, when it's in progress, they can track the progress through this way. When it's completed, they can either, well, let's say they can make it as in progress if they go this way. If it's completed, it's literally just a matter of either going that same way or just dragging it in here. Now that one's been completed. I can see all the other projects, all the other items that have been completed in there as well, but they're not generally visible. And now when I go back to my vehicle, I can see that in a moment will update here and we'll be able to see what's happened. Okay, so it took a little while, but eventually that planner task has been completed, and I can go here. And what I do is I can just see what's been going on against this particular vehicle. Is we've been keeping a track of notes. So all these things have happened. So a task was created to service this vehicle at 11:43, and the planner task to service this vehicle was completed at 11:49. So that's keeping an ongoing history of everything that happens on that vehicle.